I invite you to be still for a moment, for the awareness I am about to share can bring great clarity to your journey, protecting the path you walk and all that you cherish. As you observe the world, understand that many people move through life wearing intricate masks. They are skillfully made, beautiful even, yet they conceal a different reality underneath. They offer you a welcoming smile. They extend a hand in friendship. Perhaps they even speak words of deep affection. But within their stillness, a profound dissonance resides, a quality that would cause a deep tremor in your own spirit if you could perceive it fully. There is a truth about our human journey that many only realize after walking through hardship. Destructive patterns do not arrive with thunder and storm clouds as they do in stories. In life, they are quiet, subtle, and profoundly impactful precisely because they appear so ordinary, so inviting, so gentle. The most significant challenges to your inner peace will not come from those who appear formidable. They will flow from those who make you feel completely secure, even as they divert the stream of your life towards ruin. Ancient wisdom teaches us that to see clearly, we must first learn to observe the subtle patterns, the quiet currents that reveal a person's true nature. These patterns are not chaotic or without reason. They follow a clear design, one that, once understood, offers profound insight. Today, my purpose is to share this insight with you, to help you perceive these designs, recognize the undercurrents, and safeguard your own inner harmony. The first current to observe is that individuals who carry inner dissonance are often masters of first impressions. They understand instinctively how to craft an appearance that invites immediate ease and trust. When you meet someone who feels almost too perfect, whose charm is like a flawless, still lake, who seems to reflect your own heart back to you instantly, this is not always a sign of deep connection. Often, it is a call for deeper awareness. Consider these authentic beings have imperfections. They have their own unique rhythm. They have moments that are not perfectly smooth. They do not instantly know the words you long to hear, but one who operates from a place of dissonance has studied the human heart. They have perfected their presentation. They know how to mirror your spirit, how to echo your deepest values, making you feel as if you have found a long, lost part of your own soul. This immediate, intense feeling of being best friends, of sharing an uncanny number of interests, of constant agreement, this is not harmony. It is a technique, a way of identifying your emotional needs and becoming a perfect reflection of them. But while you are warmed by this reflection, you may not notice what is absent. Pay attention to what these individuals do not share of themselves. Notice how the river of conversation always flows back to you. Watch how they gracefully turn aside questions about their own inner world. Observe that they never seem to share true difficulties, deep-seated struggles, or authentic vulnerabilities. A genuine soul shares their journey, the difficult climbs as well as the views from the summit. Those who hide behind a facade cannot afford a single crack in their image, for they fear what lies behind it. The second profound signal is to observe how they treat those who offer them no advantage. This may be the purest reflection of a person's heart you will ever witness. Watch with a quiet mind how someone interacts with service staff, with those who are in junior positions, or with anyone who seemingly has nothing to give them. The mask often becomes transparent when there is no one present who serves their forward path. A person's true nature is not shown in the light of day before an important audience, but in the quiet moments when they believe no one of consequence is observing. When kindness is extended only to those who can help them advance, when respect is shown only to figures of power, you are seeing a soul who views human connection as a series of transactions, not a sacred bond. Look deeper still. Notice the subtle energy, almost a flicker of satisfaction when others face hardship. Pay attention if their help, when offered, creates freedom or fosters dependence. True compassion is like the rain. It falls freely, without expectation of return. Manipulated kindness is a seed planted with the sole purpose of a future harvest, always serving the sour more than the thirsty ground. Learning to feel the difference will protect your own garden from countless troubles. The third pattern to recognize is their relationship with truth itself. For a person of integrity, truth is the ground upon which they stand. It may be difficult, it may sometimes be avoided, but it is honored as essential for true connection to grow. For one who is dissonant, truth is merely a current to be navigated. They will use it when it guides them to their desired shore and abandon it when it does not. They will weave facts and falsehoods together so seamlessly that you find yourself accepting the entire tapestry, unable to separate the threads. They will be honest about minor things, creating an illusion of sincerity, while being deceptive about matters of the heart. So, here is what you must observe. Notice if their stories shift like sand with each telling. Are the details consistent? Do their explanations feel solid? Or do they dissolve when you reflect upon them later? More importantly, watch their reaction when met with an inconsistency. A grounded person feels discomfort when they realize a mistake. They clarify. They seek to restore harmony. But a dissonant individual may become agitated that you noticed, or gently guide the conversation to a new landscape, never acknowledging the shift. They are masters of creating a fog of complexity. They will give you information that is technically correct, but emotionally misleading. They answer questions that were never asked, while flowing around the ones you posed. They can create such intricate narratives that you feel you can no longer see the simple truth. The fourth characteristic is how they approach the boundaries of others. A healthy spirit respects boundaries as the sacred space around another soul. They may not prefer your no, but they will honor it. An imbalanced individual sees a boundary not as a respectful stop, but as a challenge. Your no is seen as the beginning of a negotiation, not a point of clarity. They will gently push, test, and apply pressure until your resolve softens. And they will remember that your boundaries can be moved, making it easier to move them again in the future. Observe how a person responds the first time you establish a clear boundary. Do they accept it with grace? Or do they begin to explore its edges? Do they subtly imply that your boundary is a sign of mistrust or a flaw in your connection? Pay close attention to the word no. For some, this word is not a simple refusal, but a deep personal slight, a challenge to their sense of control. These individuals will continually disrupt your inner peace because they cannot cease their attempts to govern your path. Look for this pattern in small things. If you express a wish to not discuss a topic, is it honored or revisited? If you state a need for quiet time, is that respected or are demands continually placed upon you? The pattern to perceive is a continuous disregard for your innate right to choose your own way. One who cannot honor a small boundary will not honor a great one. The fifth indicator is their relationship with control. It is natural to desire some influence over the course of one's own life. But for some, this becomes a deep need to manage, not just their own journey, but the journeys of all those around them. They seek to know your path, who you walk with, and where you are going. They offer their guidance on your choices, even those that have no bearing on them. Their input extends to your garments, your friendships, your very purpose. This is often presented as deep care, as profound love. In reality, it stems from a need to hold all the strings. Observe the subtle ways they may try to isolate you. They might cast shadows on your friends, suggesting they are not a positive current in your life. They may discourage your solitary pursuits or create unrest around gatherings where they are not central. This is not love. It is a reflection of a belief that your journey is an extension of their own. Beings who are driven by a need for control also cannot abide with uncertainty. They need to see the entire river from source to sea. Every twist and turn must be mapped. While this can appear as being well prepared, it becomes a problem when they demand this same rigidity over the natural, flowing autonomy of others. If you are finding a profound truth in this sharing, it is because you have likely felt these currents in your own life. You are not alone on this path of awareness. This community is a space for us to learn and grow together, In understanding these deep patterns, I invite you to subscribe and join us to continue this journey of insight and share in the wisdom we uncover. Liking and sharing this message allows the stream of this knowledge to flow to others who may also be seeking clarity. The sixth pattern is their way of moving through conflict and accountability. A balanced soul may not welcome discord, but they can face it with openness when it arises. They are able to see their own part in it, offer a sincere apology, and work to restore harmony. A dissonant person cannot bear to be seen as wrong, to be questioned, or to be held accountable. They will go to incredible lengths to avoid shouldering responsibility. When faced with their own missteps, they become masters of diversion. The focus will be turned back onto you. You will be invited to defend your own actions instead of discussing theirs. They will bring up old memories to distract from the present moment. They will suggest that you are being overly sensitive or demanding. They can reshape the past in their telling until they emerge as the one who was wronged in a situation they themselves created. Observe how they respond to even a gentle correction. Do they receive it as a gift for growth, or do they become defensive? If you share that you were hurt by an action, do they show compassion for your feeling, or do they immediately explain why your feeling is incorrect? Pay close attention to their apologies. A true apology comes from the heart, acknowledges the action, expresses remorse, and carries a commitment to change. A hollow apology is designed only to end the discomfort. You will hear phrases like, "I am sorry you feel that way," or "I apologize if something I did caused you hurt." These are not bridges of connection, they are walls. The seventh characteristic lies in their relationship with empathy. This may be the most vital sign of all. Empathy is the ability to feel with another, to understand their inner world. It is the very essence of human connection. Some dissonant souls lack this ability entirely. The inner world of others is a landscape they simply cannot comprehend. Others possess what could be called a cognitive empathy. They can intellectually understand your feelings, but they do not share in them. This understanding becomes a tool for manipulation, not a bridge for connection. More common are those with a selective empathy. They can feel deeply for those they see as a reflection of themselves, or for those whose suffering amplifies their own story. But they remain cold to anyone they perceive as separate from, or irrelevant to, their own path. Watch how a person responds to the pain and joy of others. Do they show genuine warmth for another's success without redirecting the focus to themselves? Do they honor another's emotional truth, even if it differs from their own? Notice if they seem drawn to drama or nourished by the struggles of others. See if they create discord and then offer themselves as the peacemaker. True empathy seeks to calm the waters. A lack of it often enjoys the storm. The eighth pattern involves their hunger for position and recognition. While all beings wish to be valued, some possess an endless craving for dominance and superiority. It is not enough for them to be skilled. They must be seen as the most skilled. It is not enough to enjoy their journey. Their journey must appear more profound than all others. They cannot genuinely celebrate your victories because another's light is perceived as diminishing their own. Listen for subtle dismissals disguised as light-hearted comments. Notice if they create a sense of competition in moments that should be shared. Pay attention to whether they must always be at the center of the narrative. See if they build themselves up by subtly eroding the foundation of others. These individuals will often speak of their great accomplishments or imply deep connections with influential people. There is a deep need for you to see them as exceptional, as operating on a higher plane, deserving of special honor. The ninth indicator is their approach to the natural give and take of relationships. A healthy bond is like a balanced breath, an inflow and an outflow. Support is given and received in a natural rhythm. An imbalanced relationship becomes a one-way extraction. They will draw upon your time, your vitality, your emotional reserves, but the channel is often closed when you are in need of support. When they do give, it is with intention, designed to deepen your obligation or keep you connected to them as a source. Notice if a person is always in a state of crisis requiring your energy, but becomes distant when you face your own challenges. Pay attention to whether they remember the small things that are important to you, or if conversations invariably return to their own world. Watch for those who keep a mental record of what they have done for you, while remaining oblivious to your own contributions. This pattern reveals someone who views you not as a fellow traveler, but as a resource for their own journey. The 10th characteristic is their perspective on growth and inner change. A healthy mind knows it is on a continuous journey of learning and refinement. They understand that feedback can be a powerful guide. A dissonant soul often presents themselves as having already arrived at their destination. They do not learn from their mistakes because, in their view, they do not make any. They do not grow from feedback because any criticism is seen as a lack of understanding or jealousy from others. If you have walked alongside someone for many years and their inner landscape has not changed, if they have never acknowledged a flaw to work on, never shown a desire to understand themselves more deeply, you may be witnessing someone who believes they are already complete. This stillness also makes them unable to embrace your own evolution. If you cultivate new interests, skills, or perspectives, they feel a sense of threat. They prefer you to remain unchanged, for your growth might lead you down a path they cannot predict or control. Understanding these patterns is not about judgment, but about clarity. It is a profound act of self-care. Seeing these truths empowers you to make choices that protect your inner peace and nurture your own growth. Your path is your own, and it is a sacred one. Committing to walk it with awareness is the greatest promise you can make to yourself. If this message has served you, I invite you to make that commitment now by subscribing to this channel, so you do not miss the wisdom we will share in the future. May your journey be clear, and may you walk it with strength and serenity.